Attention, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Game 6 would have been tonight, but the Knicks got it done in 5. And that OG tip, that very next morning I was on with Craig Carton, and he and I were both getting texts at the same time from another New York postseason hero. And that's a word we use often, but it does apply here. The great Jim Leyritz with all those monster Yankee postseason home runs, all starting, of course, in 96 to beat the Atlanta Braves. But we talked about the Mookie Wilson ground ball that went under the legs of Bill Buckner. We talked about Jimmy's home runs against Atlanta. He hit about 4 of them, just, you know. And then Jim texted me and Craig with the same thing, like, wow, I think what I saw last night belongs in the same category as what I did. I love that about Jimmy, as what I did. I said the same thing. And these other great moments in New York playoff history. So we had to get him in. He's on this show a lot anyway. My dear friend and all-time New York Yankee great, Jim Leyritz. You're on the way that morning to a golf tournament. I forget whose it was.
Yeah, it was, what was it? I can't remember either.
Oh, it's O.J. Anderson.
O.J.
Super Bowl 25 MVP for the football Giants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I had no idea Craig was coming on the show, so I texted both of you just so you guys could use it for your shows.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I hear, oh, the next guest is Craig Carton. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. Here we go.
But the truth is, you're right, because your home runs, and look, the Yanks have a lot of big postseason home runs dating back to more Bucky Dent. That was really a regular season game. They categorize it as that last game against the Red Sox. But Yogi hit a ton of big home runs in the postseason, Mickey, Joe. But in the modern era, you go to Reggie, that big guy against the Dodgers in 77.
Yeah.
And you. So when you said it, we had already said it as well. We agreed with you. I think you're right. That OG tip goes down as one of the iconic moments in the history of Jimmy Leyritz of New York sports.
Yeah. I mean, all I could think about, like I texted you, is if they don't win, it's a footnote. And I just told you before, 95 home run I hit against the Mariners. We thought that was going to get us to the next round.
That was a big home run, too.
Yeah, and it was great, but we didn't win. And so it became a footnote. And I was kind of comparing our 95, 96 teams to the Knicks the last 2 years, where they had Jalen Brunson shirts already printed before we played Indiana, and we didn't get past Indiana. You know, and so
Halliburton hit that shot. Yeah, that was a killer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and then all of a sudden they come back this year, and it really reminded you of the 95 and 96. And then, of course, that tip, and now the fact that they won. I can just imagine, OG, I keep telling him, I hope I get a chance to meet this guy, because all I'm going to tell him is, listen, enjoy it. And when you're 62 years old like me, you're still going to come back here and people are going to talk about that.
Of course, 100%. No doubt. And they still, I mean, I'm at many Yankee games. In fact, I'll be back tomorrow night in Randy's box for the Yankees and White Sox with the family. And you're there, and people come up to you every game thanking you for all the things you did for the Yanks. But you laid out a bunch of things before you came on the air that really struck me as wow. Between the 95-96 Yankees and this Knick team, even Showalter to Torrey, here we had Thibodeau to Mike Brown, but a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things where in 95 we had no big names. Nobody led the league in pitching. Nobody led the league in hitting. All these different things that happened. We come back in 96. They fire Buck Showalter. They bring in a new manager who no one called it. They called him Clueless Joe when he first came in.
That was the back of the New York Post. I mean, he had unsuccessful stints in St. Louis with the Mets. They were unfair about Atlanta, though, because I want to remind people that when Joe Torre coached, or managed, I should say, the Braves, he had 3 guys in particular that were very good. Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and a guy you know, Chris Chambliss.
Yes.
And the Braves won the division that year. Yeah. They never gave Torre credit for that. So he did have one good year in Atlanta, but for the most part, yes, he had some nightmarish stays.
Yeah, so for me, it was a very similar thing where Mike Brown comes in and he knows how to react with the players. He knows how to get the most out of them. And the fact that he played all 10 guys consistently throughout the whole year. Said I was never much of a Knicks fan, but one of my best friends has tickets at the Tao Suites at the stadium, at the MSG. I went to 25 games of the Knicks this year.
You did?
Yeah, of course, yeah, but I sit up in the suite. I don't do that.
In the suite or in the blue seats?
No, up in it's the Tao, the restaurant Tao.
Oh, Tao, the restaurant.
Yeah, they have their own suite.
You're friends with Sam? Is he still the owner?
Well, yeah,
or the
Sam,
chef?
Yep, Sam's still Sam is the chef. Yeah,
right.
And but John and those guys that work up there. I go to all the events, and this year my buddy's like, listen, I think the Knicks got something going. And so we went to every game, and it was just like the whole time during the playoffs, I'm sitting with Wally Zerbiak.
Oh, you are?
Because he sits there, and because he does the pre and the post game.
Yes.
So he walks over.
Him and Bill Pito on those guys.
Yeah, he walks over, sits upstairs with us in the suite.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we get to talk. And
I love Wally.
Yeah, he's a great dude. And yeah, it was just really cool. And the really cool thing was my wife is not a baseball. She was my after baseball wife. She knows nothing much about the what we did in the World Series and everything. I brought her here last week for Game 1 and Game 2 of San Antonio, and we went to Trax, or O'Brien's, right across the street from MSG to watch the game.
Oh, yeah. That used to be inside Penn Station.
Yeah.
Then they moved it across the street, made it bigger and nicer.
Yeah, my buddy Mike owns it.
Oh, okay.
And so we go down.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, we went down there to watch Game 1 and Game 2, and my wife is sitting there going, is this what it was like when you were in the World Series?
Yeah.
These fans are nuts.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think we should go back to our side of the streets when halftime because it's going to get crazy down here. And sure enough, it did. It did.
And as crazy as it was with you guys with the Yanks, and look, the Knicks won 1. You guys won 4, right? I mean, Torrey won 4. He got to 6. Of course, he lost in 2001 to Arizona, and 2003, the shocker to the Marlins. But the Yankees were in the World Series at that time every year. It seemed like every year. And again, you won 4 World Championships. But, as I've been saying all week, there are more Yankee fans than Met fans, but they still split the city. It's close.
Oh, yeah.
There are more Giant fans than Jet fans, but they still split the city. It's close. Even Rangers and Islanders. There are no Net fans in this city. Yeah. There's like 8 black guys and 8 Hasidic Jews, and that's about it. Everybody's a Knick fan. So when you guys had your big parades on the Canyon of Heroes, you may have drawn 2.2 million. You're going to see 3.5.
Oh, easily.
Right?
This is going to be one of the craziest ones. I've got some of my NYPDs working on a credential for me because I want to go see this thing at City Hall. I just watch because
is that the best? It's funny you say that because Danielle asked me last night. I'm going to Israel, of course, on Thursday, so I won't be here, and I'm not upset about it. But I may want to send my wife and son, and I thought the same thing. I would call all my buddies at the NYPD because that's the easiest way to get a credential and get there, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the easiest way. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. And
what do you mean trying to do? You're a World Series hero.
Listen,
you got to be there.
Hopefully it happens.
What?
But this is the Knicks time.
Call Jim Dolan. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't have that kind. I'm not Derek Jeter. I don't have that kind of pull.
Maybe, Craig may be setting up outside WFAN.
Oh, really?
Right there. I would look into that as well, just in case.
Yeah, it's just one
But
of those
Jessica
things.
Tisch, you got to come through for Danielle Rosenberg and Jimmy Leyritz. Come on.
There you go. But it's just really cool because, like I mentioned to you before, when we won in '96, it brought a city together. Not just Knicks fans, but the city.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this is what happens.
What do you mean
here.
brought a city together?
Yeah.
Met fans were furious. Millions and millions of Met fans were furious. We hated every second of it back then. This is really going to bring the city together.
Yeah.
You may even see Muslims and Jews dancing in the street.
You never know, right? You never know. No, it's an exciting time, and I told you I sent you a picture of a Facebook thing that I posted when Karl Anthony Towns got traded.
Yeah, that was cool.
So he got traded October 3rd, October 6th. He's at Yankee Stadium. I walk into a suite, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, it's funny. My dad's a Yankee fan. He's got a bunch of Yankee hats, and so he asked me to pick out a hat to wear today, because we're a Kentucky alum. And he said, "Look what I picked out." And he shows me the '96 World Series hat. So I signed it for him and said, "I want a jersey when you win your championship because you're bringing a championship here." And in 2 years, boom, they do it.
So you got to get the jersey.
I'm going to get Cat. I'm going to corner Cat one of these days and say, "I need a jersey, brother."
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize you went to Kentucky.
University of Kentucky.
I mean, obviously basketball, we know Big Bear
Kenny
Calipari,
Skywalker
Patino.
was there when I was there.
He won the slam dunk contest
Yes, he did.
and was awful for the Knicks.
Yes, he was.
That was part of all the pain. We talk about the years and years of pain for the Knickerbockers. Kenny Sky, who was a nice guy, and again, he won the slam dunk contest, didn't go all that well, Jim. But look, this has been an incredible run for New York and 53 years. The Yanks, what are you on, 17 years now?
Yeah, 17 years.
That's a long
it's
time.
getting to be like it wasn't from 78 to 96.
Right.
Yeah, same type of thing.
78, we beat the Dodgers.
Yep.
96, we beat the Braves. Got there in 95, got swept by the Cincinnati Reds. That's when Steinbrenner went nuts. He's like, I don't want to get to the World Series just to get swept.
Yeah.
No, that would be 76. I'm sorry, 76.
By my
And that's-
Cincinnati Reds.
Right, and then he went out and he got Reggie and Bucky Dent. You're Cincinnati Reds, that's right.
Yeah.
You grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan.
Yep.
So you grew up in Kentucky or Ohio?
No, I grew up in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, and went to junior college in Georgia for 2 years, and then Kentucky for a year, and then I signed with the Yankees.
Awesome.